Whiskers was my best friend, my partner in every adventure. We used to spend our days exploring alleys, chasing mice, and sharing stories under the old oak tree. Life wasn't easy on the streets, but we had each other, and that made all the difference. Then one day, everything fell apart. We were in our favorite alley just lounging when we heard a commotion. A gang of new cats had moved into our territory. A tough bunch led by a huge, rough-looking Tom named Slash. They strutted in like they owned the place, pushing others around. Whiskers, always the brave one, didn't hesitate to step up. He told them to leave, to find somewhere else to mess around. Slash just laughed, a deep, cruel sound, and without warning he pounced. Whiskers tried to fight back, but it was 3 against 1. They beat him down, leaving him lying in the dirt, battered and bruised. I couldn't get to him in time. I could only watch, helpless, as they walked away, their laughter echoing in my ears. That night, I sat beside Whiskers, his breathing shallow. The anger burned inside me. Anger at those bullies and anger at myself for not being there when he needed me. I promised him right then and there that I would make things right. I would show them they messed with the wrong cats. I spent the next few days watching Slash and his gang. They acted tough, scaring off anyone who dared cross them. I knew I couldn't face them head on, so I came up with a plan. It was dusk when I made my move. Slash and his crew were sitting by the dumpsters laughing and eating scraps. I climbed up the fire escape, careful not to make a sound, until I was right above them. I waited for just the right moment and then bam! I knocked over a pile of old cans, sending them crashing down on their heads. The noise startled them, and they jumped up, disoriented. Before they could react, I dropped down into their midst, clawing and biting, moving like a blur. I didn't need to defeat them outright. I just needed to make them afraid, make them understand they weren't welcome here. Slash hissed, lunging at me, but I was too fast. I darted to the side, raking my claws across his ear. The others tried to corner me, but I kept moving, striking and retreating, using every trick Whiskers and I had learned from years on these streets. Eventually they had enough. Slash, now bleeding and furious, growled at me, but there was fear in his eyes. He turned and slunk away, his gang following, their tails low. I watched until they were out of sight, my chest heaving, adrenaline still coursing through me. I had done it, not just for me but for Whiskers, for our home. When I returned, Whiskers looked up at me, his eyes filled with gratitude and pride. I nuzzled against him gently, promising him that as long as we were together, no one would ever hurt us again. I wasn't just fighting for revenge, I was fighting for my friend, for the life we built together. And I'd fight for it over and over until the end.